pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thanks everyone. Approval of agenda, I got one addition to the agenda, and that is discussion on the white Dodge pickup, the use for the Parks and Rec that belongs to the county. Other than that, Andy, any questions or additions?
I'll approve the agenda.
Okay, I'll second that. Oh, and Randy Cole was exposed to COVID, and that's the reason why he is not here today. I don't think I violated any by saying that. Okay, then Pam.
Okay, first off is I have payroll that was distributed on yesterday, June 20, to all county employees for $149,835.76.
I'll make that motion to approve.
And I'll second it. Motion made, second carried, 2-0.
I can stamp them if you want.
Hmm?
I can stamp it if you
Okay,
want.
that's
That's what
what-
you've been having me to.
Yeah, that's,
The next is I have payroll benefit claims for all the insurances that Tasha processed through with the payroll. Totals out to $192,887.98.
discussion?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
All right, and I will second it, so carried 2-0.
That's all I got.
Okay, Teresa?
Okay, first thing I have is an additional appropriation request. This will not go to the council after your approval until their July meeting, since it's too late to get this advertised, but it's something that I wanted to bring to your attention. It's regarding County General under the Commissioner's budget for care of patients in institutions. This is a line item that we just don't really know exactly what needs to be budgeted from year to year. We just kind of go off of what we've done in the past and try to project based on that. And that's what was done for this year's budget. Unfortunately, the budget is not going to hold for all of the expenses that will be coming forth. We have 6 more months of expenses to be paid out, and at this time, we only have a little over $5,000 left in the current balance. Looking over the past 6 months that we've been paying, the numbers are so different from month to month that I just did an average, and the average was $8,665 a month. So being that we have about 6 months, I rounded it to around $45,000. We don't know if this is going to be too much or too little, but it will hopefully hold us for several more months going forward. So if you wish to approve, there's a $45,000 request. I don't know if the judge has any additional things at this point to add, other than we just hope that this will hold.
Any questions or discussion?
No. We've good.
Can I ask, who are these patients? That's confidential.
Mhm.
I mean, is it part of the judicial system then, or, okay.
Mhm.
This isn't for the jail.
This is not the jail.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I'll second.
Okay. You got a copy as well?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the next thing I have, this comes usually during the summer of every year. It's the PM agreements from Evapar for the courthouse generator and the armory generator. The courthouse generator is as old as the courthouse, so it's 28 years old. We get 2 visits per year for the courthouse because of its age. their rate is going up just a little bit. It's $705 total for 2 visits. One visit is done in October, the major PM is done in October, and then the minor PM is done in April, but both payments are always paid out of the current year's budget because they bill us in advance for the upcoming PM, and that's their terms. They've been doing this for several years, so it's the same type of services that we've had in the past. The courthouse is for $705, and if you agree, it's just one signature that's needed. And then the armory is done one time a year. The major PM is done in October. And for the armory generator, it's $695.
Has Chris reviewed the,
I did send these to Chris because it's the same one that's every year. I mean, it's
Okay.
the same PM, and
Same-
he's seen
same
the
agreement.
others.
okay.
It's just a list of what all they go over and do, the scope of work.
Yeah, we gotta keep them going, so. I'll make a motion to approve.
No, I'll second that.
Okay? And I will give you just the sheets that need to be, and it's just contact person, just need the signature where it says contact person, so it would be just Tom that would need to sign those two. And I'll finish the rest on that.
Teresa, do they do the one on the small one out on the garage also, out at Armory? Or is it,
I don't know what type that one is. Is that just a portable?
I don't know, no, it's not a portable, it's fixed.
The one on the garage is?
The new one,
It's probably still under warranty, but I don't have that in the scope. That
I didn't know if it was, you know, we could group the 4 of them, like the jail. Is it an Everbar?
He does his own, yeah.
But it's a different agreement. Okay. I didn't know if we could group them together and get a better price.
It's all done by the same company.
That's what I'm saying, you know, if they could do all 4 of them at one time, we'd save it.
I don't know when you get your, do you know when you get your PMs?
I'd have to look,
Yeah.
you know, look at the ways to save money.
This is the first time in several years that there's been a slight increase in their fees. So, and they work with us
And the increase.
really well.
Cost, you know, fuel costs, travel.
Okay, so you want me to go on?
yes.
Okay, the next thing I have is regarding Know Before. It's a cybersecurity training that's offered by the state. I received an email back on June 14th from Taylor Hollenbeck, who's the Director of Intergovernmental Affairs for Indiana Office of Technology. And since we have an in.gov email address and we use the in.gov domain as part of our web domain, we qualify for the state's free Know Before offering. Know Before is a leading company in cybersecurity training. It's a program that would offer free training and phishing simulations to deploy to our employees to increase their awareness of malicious threats and attacks. The state has been using this service since 2020, and they have seen improvements of cybersecurity knowledge among their employees. They have licenses that are not in use, and they want to offer them for free to the qualifying local governments, which we are one of those. So the goal is to improve our employees' cybersecurity awareness and hopefully save money that could be used for other cybersecurity needs. So what they do is they have training modules, and they are delivered to each employee's workstations, and then employees would then be required to implement, or can be required to implement the training modules within a predetermined period of time. It would be at your discretion as to how you want to do that, and they, in their email, they said the state, for example, they have trainings for their employees the first Tuesday of each month, and then the employees have 3 weeks after to complete that training module. But he said it's flexible. And our intervals on training and completion are totally at our discretion. And if you're interested in going forward, which it would be highly suggested, they would like to set up a time to discuss how they could assist us and explain further. So if you're willing, what we would do is probably get a commissioner and Pam and I and get Anjan from Ann Island to sit in on this and let them explain a little further how we can go forward and how we would want to do that
Okay, this is at no cost.
at no cost. And I've been told by other folks that I've had conversations with about this is a free training, that we need to take advantage of it, need to look into it. And then I got the email before I had a chance to even reach out to inquire about it.
Well, I think any training like that, especially if it's provided by the state.
Yeah, right now it's really important with what's going on, so.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're good with that, I'll reach out and maybe we can work on
Do you
some
need
dates.
action on that, or?
Just if you're
I would say probably best to have. a
probably best
motion
to
on
say we want to
Okay.
move forward with getting the training and get
I'll make
conversation.
I'll make that motion for the training from
No
the state.
No second.
Okay, and the last thing I have is regarding the Buick Century, and we have some other miscellaneous items, but the main item to declare surplus would be the Buick Century because of its value at the time of purchase, I guess, so.
What is the threshold of the, it's $500?
The,
Is what it
I
requires
think,
to be declared?
it's on our inventory for that, yeah.
Mhm.
So the Buick Century, it's a 2005. It has 201,945 miles on it. I would say its condition would be considered fair. It does run. The interior is aged, and we have had a few issues in the past with some of the the automatic window regulators. We've had some issues with that. And I had mentioned this in a previous meeting, that I had looked on Kelley Blue Book, and the trade-in value suggested out of the range was $250, and the sale to private party, it ranged from $550 to little over $2,000, with a suggested value of $1,321. I had talked with Scott Dixon, and he was willing to take the vehicle and auction it for us. They would keep a percentage of the auction, just like they do for others. There are also some other items that we have that are no longer needed. You know, as mentioned, our shed is out back here. It's been leaking, and I know our maintenance crew has gone through the items that were in the shed. They have taken out what items they wish to keep to use for courthouse groundskeeping and other uses. And that is in the storage barn that's over at the detention center. So now what's left in that shed are just items, and I took some pictures so I would have them just to refer to. There's a few weed eaters in there, some kind of a snow scraper shovel. Looks like there's a chainsaw, little chainsaw in there. There's it looks like an edger, like a lawn edger. Other than that, the rest of it looks to be pretty just junk spare items, like an extra handle off of an old lawnmower and a few little old gas cans and things like that. So it had also been mentioned that we might have some other items, maybe some furniture items or other things that are over in that storage barn at the detention center. We have the old Christmas tree that we used to put up in the rotunda in the center of the room. It's been over in that barn for quite a few years. Since we put the security desk out front, we can no longer use that tree because it is very tall, and the only place we could put it would be in the center of the room. So that would not be a good idea to put that in front of the security officer's desk. So, you know, I don't know if that would be an item that Dixon's would want to to auction, but these are items that we no longer need. They're sitting, taking up space. It's been mentioned about some of the tables. We have some of the old heavy metal tables, like cafeteria-style tables. There may be some tables that we might want to do, but we want to first to make sure that if there's any department that wants to use them, they can use them. But we've got quite a few back here in the store.
Dolan's.
So who are these auction services that you're talking?
Basically, Hawhee and, but Roger Smith does have R&B.
R&B? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I saw Mr. Dixon in passing and just asked if that was something he was interested in, and he said he would be, yeah, he said, oh yeah,
No,
take a
but
vehicle.
consider all of the
Sure.
local. Mhm.
You know, we can say, say 5% or whatever, or gain of 5%, however you want to look at it.
But the bottom line, I think we should give them
Yeah, I
the
mean,
opportunity.
the auction would be a lot easier on the county's end than having to advertise and pay those,
Oh,
yeah.
pays those costs of
Right.
advertising and accepting bids, and
Yes.
Does Steve have anything out the highway garage to get rid of?
that was
Oh,
mentioned before.
Yeah, we
whenever
asked
Steve
him
was
about-
here. I don't know that he did have.
Yeah, he never got back with us or anything.
And I would reach out to all the county departments about
Sure.
this.
Yeah, but if there's something of value over $500, we'll have to
Have to
declare it
surplus
surplus.
Yes.
Is it, if Steve has it?
Sure.
We've got
He
time to do
uses
that.
up his stuff pretty good though,
Weed eaters and things would be useful for people pretty soon, but,
right?
okay.
Okay. Under miscellaneous, we have well, I guess we can consider her basically a former employee. She hasn't left yet, but she has reached out that she is leaving. And with that said, she, after, and correct me if I'm wrong, after you've announced that you're leaving, Lowell and Associates. huh?
Wow.
Lau, L-O-W, Associates, offered you a position, but they didn't solicit you while you were employed, correct?
No, they did not. It was
Okay.
after I had returned in the notice.
Well, just to make sure that everything is up and up, we are under the contract with Lau Associates. There is a provision in there, it's a non-solicitation company, and they said, and this is Article XVI of the contract, and it says, for the duration of this agreement and for the period of 2 years following the termination hereafter, the company shall not directly or indirectly recruit or attempt to recruit any employees or agent of the customer, otherwise initiate any offer or promise of employment with any employee or agent of customer without prior written consent of customer. Customer is referring to the county. If permission is granted by Commissioner, customer to company, company being Lau, and an employee, agent, or agent of customer is employed by the company at any period to the termination of this agreement or within 2 years thereafter, then the company shall pay a fee to customer in the amount of 2 times the annual salary of such employee or agent for the period in which such employee or agent is employed by company. Company has employee agreement prohibiting such activity without prior written consent. So what they're asking is a waiver of that article and the letter reads, in consideration of their continued relationship, Lau Associates Incorporated Company and Perry County customer, waive the provisions of Article XVI set forth in the service agreement between company and customer dated September 14, 2021, as it applies to the employment by company of Tasha Parks as employee of customer. This waiver applies only to this employee specifically and shall not be construed as any limitation to the enforcement of Article XVI as it may apply in the future to any other customer employee. This letter has been reviewed by Chris Goffman. So, Randy, do you have any?
No, I talked to
Comments?
Tasha earlier today, and I'm good with it. Happy for her. I believe she'd still be involved in the county otherwise, different things, so I don't want to hold anybody back from looking out for the future, so.
And she would work for the auditor's office. So Pam, do you have any comments?
No, Tasha knows we've talked, and I couldn't be happier for her because I think this is furthering her along for what she can, and I hope for what she's learned in my office, that's going to be a good benefit for her for what she can hopefully come back and she'll be a trainee for our area also.
Yeah, we're very kind of what we done see it on Facebook.
Yeah.
But, okay, well, I mean, let's say if they didn't solicit you while you were,
No, Pam had a notice on her desk before the conversation.
Yes.
okay,
I'll make a motion to sign.
okay, and I'll second that motion.
I appreciate it, guys.
Like I said, I hope this works out. Hate to lose you.
Thanks. I know it's not an easy decision, but it's one I think's in the right step.
Yep.
All right. Anything else? Anybody else got any this one? Any public comments? Next meeting?
You.
Oh, you got the
Truck.
Dodge pick?
Truck.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about that. The,
The gentleman out here has a comment.
what year is that? 2000?
It's 2014, I think.
Is it a 14?
16, I think.
Is it 16?
Yeah, I think we
I thought
bought
it
it.
was, I thought you had that before I had my black Dodge. So my black Dodge was 16.
Yeah, we want to make sure.
No, I'll try to make. Oh, was it 14? Maybe I'm thinking the Impala's a 14.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
that-
it
The
is.
Impala's a 14 and the Tahoe is a 14.
Yeah, it could be a 16 then. I was thinking of the Impala, I guess, because I was dealing with it earlier too.
Yeah, I think we actually bought the white truck after the Impala
Yeah,
because
I
it's
think
four-wheel
she's
drive.
Right, I think this is 16.
Yeah.
Is she looking at the?
Tell her she's right.
You're right.
Find it.
We figured it
They're
out.
just agreeing to find it, but can't find it.
They said they got it.
Okay.
I was dealing with the Impala earlier, so I had that on my mind, and it is 16.
Well, basically, the county owned a 2016 Dodge pickup that we use for county business. And over the past few years, it's been used by the Parks Department, Parks and Rec, quite often. And the vehicle that the Parks and Rec has is getting a lot of miles on it and becoming unreliable. Or so, Greg, you're asking that we turn the white 2016 Dodge over to the Parks and Rec Department, who actually does building maintenance also for the county,
Yes.
and use it for that purpose. My comment would be, is the maintenance of it. Would you cover the maintenance under your budget then?
Yes.
Randy, you got any?
I talked to Greg here probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe a little longer than that. Way time moves along. I'm good with it because before we didn't have the Tahoe for the employees to go out, especially the assessor's office. Now we do. Only thing, if it'd come down to, if the Tahoe would go down a week or so doing maintenance, they might have to need the truck back. That might be once a year or 2 years, I don't
That's not a
know.
problem. I mean, I have no problem making it available to them if they need it.
Yeah.
It's just that when we're bouncing it back and forth, we have stuff loaded in the back that we use for cleaning supplies and other stuff for our job. So when we bring it back here for someone's use, we have to unload all that stuff because they're probably gonna use the back seat. We usually keep them flipped up and use that storage area back there for our supplies.
But you're gonna make it available if needed?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's if we have a vehicle that go to,
Right.
you know, sometimes it.
Is part of
Well,
Ridge,
just like right now, your Impala's getting ready to get some work done on it, and so you're down to the Tahoe, so if somebody would need it, then in that situation like that, we would make it available.
make it available?
Yeah.
Well, and then the black Dodge pickup that is down now.
Well, I got it back this morning.
Got it back this morning?
They were able to put the water pump on pretty quick yesterday and get it back in service, so.
That white Dodge pickup was bought originally for county employees to use it, especially like the audit, the assessor's office and that, to go out, because they need a four-wheel drive pickup. And also for
Extension, Purdue Extension.
Purdue
Use-
Extension.
Yeah, whenever sometimes they travel with
Stuff
items
that
for
they need,
fair
yeah.
and things like that.
And then also for, when Ellis was here with maintenance. So it was bought with maintenance.
That was probably part of it, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, that was part of it, that was part of it also for building maintenance. So with all that said, and going to be made available, and then you'll take care of the maintenance out of your budget, then
Not to mention, it'll take the burden off of Teresa from keeping track with it.
keep track of it, yeah. I mean, I think I agree with Randy, so I'll second that. All right, now, no,
This gentleman out here.
yes, sir.
My name is Bob Childers. I have a cabin on Attic Road. I was talking to Steve Howe.
Can you step up to
Would
the
you care to
microphone,
step up?
please? Thank you. And
I'm
just
sorry.
reintroduce yourself again. We're on live stream, so.
I'm Bob Childers. I have a cabin on Attic Road.
Mhm.
And I was talking to Steve, and he said I need to come to the meeting to get approval from you guys to put millings on the county road.
We generally don't, they're not available for you to put them on?
Yes.
Oh, okay, not for the.
Yeah,
so
and
we
then
don't have-
also, we've done it with other counties where we, like at Du Bois County and Pike County, we bought oil through them to
Mhm.
put on it also to make it a good road. We'd like to do probably about a mile, something like that.
Okay. and
I've
who's
got the
paying for
millings. I have the millings.
Okay, and,
They're at my cabin now.
I mean, I don't see an issue with, you say Steve didn't?
No,
Steve Howard
he just
didn't?
said the only thing that he would want, and which we do anyways, I have an excavating company, is to bring a compactor in and compact it, which, that ain't no problem.
Okay,
We'll bring a grader in, grade them, get the road shaped. They just put new tiles in there, so that was good. And we'll pack it in, but we may need a little oil to put on top.
and you'll cover
And-
that?
Well, yeah, I'll cover that cost, but normally we do it through the counties. The county gets it, and then we pay the county.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
So if we could work that out, that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd have to go through a vendor on that because we don't have a way to put oil down.
Would that be Rudolph?
Probably so.
Okay. Rudolph's doing a job for us out at Tipsaw right now, so we just redid a road in Tipsaw, so
Mhm.
we're just wanting to get that road dust-free if I can.
That's from
Right.
145 into your place.
Well, I don't know if I want to go where there's blacktop already. I don't think it'll stay on there.
Yeah.
So just right where the blacktop quits there,
At the
take off
beginning,
from there and put about
145.
3 to 4 inches, probably 4 inches, something like that.
Mhm.
But we're very familiar with doing it. We build roads all the time, so pack it in and then if I could get with Steve and find out what he could do with oil, and we go from there.
Yeah.
And I don't care if I got to pay for it ahead of time. That's fine.
Mhm.
I don't see a problem with that.
I don't either. I
And
mean,
you've been talking about that for several years.
Yes, yeah, and I finally got the milling, so.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do
We've
something.
communicated. I've never met you before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I've
just on
been
the
wanting to
phone.
do something with that for a while. That dust just rolls out through
Yeah.
there, so.
Mhm.
And
Well,
it's
I
good for the
think-
county to me, get a good road.
Yeah, I mean, if we approve, I would want the provision in the motion that it's done under Steve's approval. That's the only
Oh,
thing.
that's fine. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Should we have Chris draw anything up on the attorney?
I don't know.
Well, Steve's got control of the roads, I believe, I would think.
Let me talk to Steve this afternoon.
That'd be the only
Yeah,
thing we might
and Steve's
fill
got my
something
number,
up.
he can call me.
Yeah.
And another thing I'd like to do is right by my bridge is where the school bus turns around. I'd like to expand that a little bit so she can turn around a little easier. She jacks around in there, and then when there's corn in that cornfield, you cannot see that school bus.
Mhm.
So I'd like to make that a little easier. I think it's,
Who's,
I'm not sure. whose
As long
bus
as we
it
stay
is.
within right away.
It'll be on my easement, actually, but I mean, I just want to build it back there a little
Okay. I
bit, so
don't see that being an issue.
there's nothing
Would
there.
it go out in the field itself?
No, it'll go back toward the creek a little bit.
Okay.
I'll clear that all off.
Wouldn't be affecting whoever farms that field?
No, not at all. But what is affecting now, you know where that tile keeps clogging up in that corner, in that curve? That's what's causing it. The bus has to get in there and turn
Yeah,
around, so,
Smashing it,
yeah.
Oh, any improvement that,
yeah.
So I just would make it, just make it easier on her. I know it looks like about 5 or 6 kids whenever she turns around, but she has to
Yeah.
jack around there 4 or 5 times, and they're standing
Oh, I
corn.
know the school appreciate that.
And you know how people drive around some of these county roads, so.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So I'd hate to see it get clogged, so.
And you do that all at the same time?
Yeah, I do it at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to let you know that I would take it toward my bridge, off to the west side of my bridge, and take that out and make that, the reason, there's 2 loads sitting there now. That's what I was gonna do, is I had to extend that out so she could turn around a little easier, so. Might as well fix it right, be done with it, that's the way I
Oh,
look
yeah.
at it, so.
you want to make the.
I'll make a motion.
To approve it,
Approve.
depending on whether, and it may have to have an agreement.
That's fine.
Fine.
Just tell me what I need to do. I don't care. We're wanting to do it when it's really hot.
Right, so we will do it right away.
That stuff goes in pretty better when it's hot, so.
Well, this week might be a good week.
I ain't ready this week, but, yeah. We'll haul it out, and we'll bring all the equipment in and do what we need to do. We got a grader with GPS, or a grader for from a skid steer with GPS on it, so.
Okay.
We'll probably set that up and just let it run so we get the right, get
Get
a little
it
crown in the road.
right.
Good luck, yeah.
Right.
Ain't no sense doing it
Okay.
halfway, so.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not sure, if we need an agreement for liability reasons, but if we do, we'll get it written up and.
Yeah, let me know. I just, like I say, I just want to get it fixed, so
Okay.
keep the
Okay.
dust out. So, thank you.
Thank you.
One more thing, Tom, before we close the meeting. Isn't there some type of ordinance or something where, I know Steve has mentioned that he's gonna be spending some of his paving money on redoing roads that the log trucks have tore up. Shouldn't there be some type of ordinance where they've gotta post a bond or something where if they harm them roads, they've gotta repair them?
They normally do post bonds.
I mean, what happened in that case?
I'll ask.
I know when I was gonna haul in, up at my place, that, Fikes was commissioner, or was the street
Yeah.
superintendent, or highway superintendent at that point.
Mhm.
And the city was gonna make me post $1 million bond.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, we'd have to do the same, but I just heard, different meetings.
Right, but that specific one, I'll have to
Yeah. I mean,
ask Steve.
I know he said trucks were coming out of Crawford County, up through Perry County,
Mhm. Yeah, I'll check into that.
Okay.
Specific one, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
think-
they have paid for repairs out of bonds.
There's something in the wintertime they do, like, Steve would have to answer that versus summertime hauling,
Mhm.
when the roads are
Frost.
soft roads.
We got a frost ordinance,
Yeah.
certain time, which means,
Somebody there, just harms them. I'm not, trying to pick on any logging company by no means, but that's part of business is fixing what you,
I'll check into it.
thank you.
Okay. Next meeting?
Okay, because of the first Monday of July is the holiday, July 4th, your meeting normally would be the next day, so if you're fine with that, it'll be Tuesday, July 5th at 6 PM here at the courthouse.
Okay. All right. I think that's our normal